I feel like if I was a fan, I would have truly enjoyed the game. I think it was a great game for the Big Ten Network. I think both teams fought hard. Unfortunate for us, Iowa made plays and made shots when they needed to. When it was a 3-point game, Clark hit a 35-footer, and then she hit another 20-footer to break our backs. But other than that, those two plays right there that kind of separated the game when they needed to. And they always say players come to play when it's time for players to play. And she actually made plays for them, and they walked away with a victory. But I was really proud of our team and our effort, proud of our support that we got from the fans here today in the JMA. So we're happy about it, but we're not going to never feel good about losing.
Sure. So, Coach, 17 offensive rebounds obviously feels like the best statistical indicator of the effort you guys are putting forward tonight. But, was that more encouraging for you, or something like the way you were able to be so efficient at the offensive end tonight, which I know has been a struggle?
I thought we got to the shots that we wanted to get to. We didn't hit the corner enough. I thought the corner was the play that we needed to make, and we talked to the kids about that. To their defense, when they came to the bench, they would say, "My bad. I know I should have hit the corner," because this corner three was there for us the entire night. That was one thing that Iowa gave us. But offensive rebounds, getting to the free throw line, getting to the basket off the dribble, that they showed effort. They showed tremendous effort in trying to get to make the extra dribble. Somebody can guard you 2 slides, but if you force them to guard you 3 slides, you probably can get to the basket. And I thought when we did force them to get 3 slides, we got to the rim. When we forced them to do 2 slides, and we ended up settling for jump shots, and we needed to get to the basket. The biggest difference in the game to me was that we had 2 live ball turnovers in the first quarter when we felt like we was right there, and we gave them 4 points. That was easy basket for them to give them a little bit of space in the first quarter. But then when we settled down and recognized that we needed to freeze our cuts and pop it out and step the dribble off and then make the pass, then we started moving the ball from side to side, and then we started getting to the basket. So I was encouraged. We got a tough game against Illinois, and we got to play a little bit better.
In terms of the player making plays, she's done it all year. She's done it throughout her career.
Mm-hmm.
Are there strategies that you can deploy with somebody like that? Or is it just, when Caitlin's going to make a shot from 35 feet with the shot clock running down and contested, is there just at a certain point nothing you're really going to be able to do?
Well, I thought what we tried to do was we tried to trap her, and I thought we got to her early. The one that she hit the 35-footer, we didn't trap her. We didn't get to the trap. You can't guard a great player one-on-one. Even going back to Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Cappie Poindexter and all those great players, you never can guard them one-on-one. Diana Taurasi, you have to have 2 people on them, or at least at the very minimum 1.5. And the one that she got with 35, it was like 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock, and we didn't go double her because the shot clock was running down, and she just rose up above us. So great players you gotta spend a lot of attention on and try to get 2 to her.
Coach, do you think the game kind of slows down when you're that good? Do you think she kind of sees the game, slows down for her in moments like that?
Great players, it always does. It's just like when you're a writer, right? When you first start writing, you have to watch the ball, and then when you start watching the ball, then when you got a little bit older, you could see the ball plus everybody on the other side of the floor, and then as you got older, you can see the whole court. So with great players, they start seeing the whole floor. They see it 2 passes ahead, and that's just that's a gift. And when you get that gift and you got that and you have the willingness to be unselfish, that takes it to another level.
You said the 35-footer, the one she hit from
the left wing. Yes, when it's 3-point ball game, 4 seconds on the shot clock, and she rises up. Well, it was going through my head. We need to get to the double, and play it all the way to the 30 seconds, and don't think that we're good with 25 seconds in the shot clock. We have to play the whole shot clock, and we needed to get to the double a lot quicker when she got to the wing.
This is a program that obviously is going to have a lot of turnover. Senior night was emotional because of that, but also just, as you sort of think ahead to what this team looks like next year, what do you see as some of the biggest improvements to get from where you are now to where we're accustomed to seeing Rutgers, right in the thick of things?
We got to continue to recruit. We think we signed 2 great players in the early signing period. We expect to sign 4 more during the spring. So we feel good about it, and then we'll get a couple kids out of the transfer portal. The biggest key for us is how much value we get out of the summer. That 8-week period, we have to get a lot of value out of the 8-week period during the summer. We have to make tremendous strides in the summer so that when we come back in the fall, we're ready to go. And the great part about it is this time we've gone through the process. Now we'll be able to go back through our notes and say, how far did we get on week 2? We got to get to week 4 by this time. And so once you understand what you've done, and we had to do it with this group, now we'll go into the process knowing what we need to do. But at the end of the day, we got to have players who can put the ball in the basket. We want to preach defense. We want to play as hard as we can on the defense end. We'll teach that. But the one thing you can't teach is people have that gift to score. And so we need players that have put the ball in the basket. We need experience that want to put it in the basket. So those are the 2 big things that we got to get better with.
Coach, how often do you talk to Coach Stringer, if you don't mind me asking, how's she doing?
Oh, she's doing terrific. She wants to be here so bad. And the thing that someone asked today in our Cager meeting, what happens with recruiting without coach? Well, if any kid can't understand that you have a daughter at home that is special needs and has gone through all she's gone through, you have to step back and do what's best for your children, because everybody will tell you, I'm sorry, I hate this happened. I'm sorry. I really didn't want her to. She's doing what's best. And I'm proud of her for doing what's best. Because when I talk to her, she goes 100 miles an hour trying to talk about what we got to do. And I'm like, Coach, we're good. Like she wants to be like, what can I do, Tim? What can I do? You can't do anything. Just relax. You'll be back soon enough. And we'll be fine. And hopefully one day we'll take off these. And when we start taking these off, then we'll feel good about where we're going, and she'll feel good.
Do you expect her back next season?
Oh, no question. No question. That's why everything we do is the same. Is all like people talk to me about, when are you going to implement what you want to do? You can't do that when you have your boss coming back. You keep everything the same way, because that would be unfair to as you talked about, the next year's team. It'll be unfair to those younger kids to be trying to learn one thing, and then now they wasted a year when coach come in. If we was doing different things, we have to do the same thing so we can continue the program. Here, I said this to the Cajuns today, and I'm gonna say it to you like this: one team in one moment doesn't define our program. This program is going to stand as long as Coach Stringer wants to be here. It's going to stand for the test, and it's always have and always will. One team went 9-21, the next team went 23-4. So, one moment, one team, one season, it would never define this program.
Have you watched what Coach K did with Coach Shire, and have you guys talked about any kind of transition down the road?
No, because my thought is I want her to coach as long as she wants to. I want to be here for her, to support her, to make sure that when she does want to walk away, she walks away on her own. But my job is to make sure I serve, and I try to serve Coach every day.
Coach Neal.
We have a couple of Coach. First, just talk about that pregame ceremony, honoring the seniors, how special that was for you, Coach.
Well, as they was walking on the court, a couple of them, I said, I can't believe it went so fast. And then you watch Talia come on the floor and you say, really, you've been here 4 years? They mean so much. This class will probably be appreciated more in the future than they are right now. Because one, they never quit. They came in expecting to play for Coach, and then at the beginning of the season, when we get to start practice, they find out that they're not going to play for Coach. Most kids would have quit then, because they came here for Coach Stringer. And then we've always preached to them, if we can just get to Christmas, we got a 2-week period where we get better. And then COVID hit. And then we go to Purdue, and kids are just getting off the plane from COVID to try to play a game. Most kids would have quit then. And then for them to start losing games and to be 0 something and to continue to fight the way they fought and play the way they played tonight, I'm so proud of them. That tells you who they are as people, because who you are will show up during your toughest moment. And they're continuing to show that they want to be a good team.
So when you talk to the recruits for next year, you tell them Vivian's going to be their coach?
No question. No question.
Coach, can I just go back to Caitlin for a minute, if I could?
Yeah.
You know, there's obviously a fairly large amount of debate, Caitlin versus Aaliyah. You have the opportunity to see Caitlin Clark in person here tonight. You know, obviously, I'm sure you're familiar with Aaliyah's game. They're so different. How do you, if you were deciding who should be the player of the year, how do you go about making a decision like that when there's such different players?
Well, I think you look at the value that they bring to their teams. You know, who brings the most value to that team, the first thing. And then the second thing, you look at who took their team the farthest. You know, so value, and then who took your team as far as they needed to go to get it to the next level. That's why you hope they don't vote for stuff until late in the NCAA tournament. You vote too fast, then you don't see who carried that team to the promised land. So you have to be a little patient. And like someone asked me the other day, who did I vote for Player of the Year in the league? I can't vote yet because we hadn't played Clark. We played Hillman. So now we got a chance to see Clark, and now we get to, and I think I probably know who I'm gonna vote for. I won't say that right now until after we play Illinois. But the truth of the matter is, you have to be a little patient, and you have to look at who brings the most value to that team, and then who takes that team to the level that they need to take them to. And great players do that, and that's why you have to sit down. So it doesn't matter whether it's a guard or a center. It doesn't matter. Who's gonna do it? Like, if one player averaged 17 rebounds and the other one averaged 12 assists, okay, that's going to even out because the point's going to be there. But now who's going to do the other things? Who's getting steals? Who's not turning it over? Who's stopping the other team better player? Like Clark got a huge steal in crunch time. When we're trying to come off the ball screen, she get a steal, and we don't even get a shot up. So she showed a lot of value for her team tonight.